Hey guys, on this episode of Make It with Calvin, I'm going to give you a brief rundown of what the signs and symptoms, at least in my particular case, of my laser tube power supply driver, people call them different things. This unit right here is what turns your laser tube on and off, of it going bad and ultimately crapping out on me, and why I went about just buying a brand new unit instead of replacing what might have been the faulty transformer inside. And I'll also give a few tips and tricks for doing that as well. So let's dive into it. So the biggest giveaway that something was wrong was the fact that I was doing a raster engraving job. And in the past, I was noticing a little bit of inconsistency in the depth of the cuts and also the quality of the engraving. And I'm going, okay, maybe it's dirty optics. No, it's not dirty optics. No, the alignment is decent enough. It's working. Wonder what's going on. And then one day I was engraving one of my Porter engine sheds for the Etsy shop, going along, and all of a sudden it's going from firing at about 10 milliamps on the tube to like 3. No matter how much I cranked up the laser tube power, it never went past about 3 to 5 milliamps on the tube. I'm going, okay, the tube is firing, we are making a beam, but we're not getting any more power out of it. So I did a little bit of digging around online, and sure enough, yeah, it was this guy going bad. It's not like the tube where over time it's slowly going to do this, so you've got to slowly up the power. It was the tube driver. So from what I read online, the fact that the tube was still firing, but it would not increase the output power, is this unit right here, the flyback transformer, is what went bad. Now, I had two options when it came to replacing this. One of them was get a new flyback transformer, put it in here, put it back in the laser, hope and pray it worked, or get a whole pre-built unit, and I decided to go down the pre-built unit route. Main reasoning for that is when I was doing my research on signs and symptoms of the tube driver dying, a lot of people had said, yes, you can replace the components that went bad, but what can happen is it's kind of this cascade of failures, and who's to say that the reason why this died isn't because some other electronic component is failing, and that whole thing. Not to mention the fact that one of these transformers runs about 40 to 60 bucks and was going to take about 1 to 3 weeks minimum to show up, when I could get a whole new power supply unit that appeared to be higher quality, had a built-in cooling fan, things like that, for about 60, 65 bucks, and that would show up in like 3 days. So I just opted to go down the buy a new driver route, and I think I made the right call on that one. Now when it came to install, a couple of things to keep in mind. One is when you're unhooking the high voltage line, make sure you have grounded out the wire. I didn't do this, and whatever residual power was in this thing, I accidentally touched the end of this, which was electrically disconnected, but the capacitor's inside and potentially some charge left in the transformer. It gave me a hefty enough zap that my finger was literally tingling for like 3 hours afterwards. It was not fun. So I say that to say, if you're going to go about replacing one of these, or you're going to go about working on one of these, please bear in mind high voltage safety. You don't want to get zapped by one of these. At a minimum, it hurts. It's not fun. And the actual removal was quite simple. There were 4 screws holding this in, so I just lifted the laser up, went underneath, pulled them out, pulled out all the electrical connectors that were on here. Thankfully, the tube driver that I got was a direct drop-in, so I just plugged everything back in, screwed it in, hooked the high voltage wire back up to the laser tube. And the one mistake that I made is this unit does not have it, but the one that I got did. It had a 220, 120 selector, so it was good that it was set to the 220 mode for people who live in 220 land. Here in the good old US of A, we run 120, so I was running it and I'm like, ooh, we've got laser power back. Oh, to get the exact same results that I would get at, say, 25% laser power, I got to run it at 50. And then I looked at the listing and went, oh, shoot, it's probably in 220 mode. Pulled the thing back out, slid it to 120 mode, put the 4 screws back in. We are back to normality. which is perfect. I'm just making mention of that. Regardless of what your home country's voltage is, if it's a dual mode unit, always double check, because the last thing you want is it either running at half power or potentially going boom because you overpowered it. I've seen both happen, primarily in the 3D printing community, but it happens, so just bear that in mind. Now, the one other thing I will say that is super important that I didn't touch on at the beginning is the concept of, if something breaks down, being able to go and buy either an OE replacement or, in my case, what I view to be an upgrade to the original. And that is the whole concept of the right to repair your own equipment. Now, in my case, I'm very thankful that these lasers are so popular. I can go out and buy components very easily, relatively speaking cheaply, all that stuff. But I know in certain other industries and things like that, companies have really made it an absolute nightmare to try and get replacement parts. So just bear that in mind when you're buying something. Even if you don't have the intentions of fixing it yourself, but you're going to have someone that you know fix it, the ability to just go online, get a replacement part, and either fix it yourself or have someone that you trust do it is crazy, not only empowering, but it also can save you a heap ton of money. So I figured I would just put that in there at the end of the video, as you know, it's a new presidential year, and hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff passed to protect our right to repair our stuff. But that's me getting on my non-political soapbox for 5 seconds to say repairing your own equipment is super important. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you want to see more laser update videos, let me know and I will gladly do that for you guys. Maybe I'll do one on the mirrors in the near future. We'll see. See you guys later and have fun.